State Farm requested an immediate 22% rate increase for homeowners, along with a 38% rate increase for actual rental dwellings, and also 15% increase for renters and condo owners. This is where it got started, and this is where it got good. A watchdog group got involved. Hey, I'm Conticia. Welcome to Unfiltered Insurance and Adjuster Talk. Now, if you have come across this episode and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm about 3 months in and I'm almost there. Now, this channel talks about insurance. We all have some type of insurance. So you want to be involved in what's going on, what these insurance companies are doing, and how we as consumers can get involved and fight back. And remember, I believe consumers control the narrative. So stay involved, subscribe, and also share the channel. Now, there's one other thing that I want to bring to your attention. I watched a movie that was called The Sound of Music, and I really didn't exactly know what it's about, but I watched it, and at the end, it hurt my heart so bad. So now I am an advocate for child sex trafficking. Now, child sex trafficking is a growing crisis. In 2024, approximately 40% of human trafficking victims in the United States, they were minors. They were around the age of 15 years young. And I say young, I don't say old, I say young because that's young. This crime affects communities nationwide. If you see something, say something. If you see something suspicious, say something. Call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888 or text Be Free 233-733. For more information, please visit missingkids.org or humantraffickinghotline.org. If you ever get a chance, watch that movie and it will change your heart. It'll change your mind. There are groups that fight to protect the child in the womb, but then they stop once the child is born. There is life after the womb. There's life beyond the womb. So we have to continue to the fight beyond the womb, and this is a crisis that we do have, and this is one that is dear to my heart. So we're going to go ahead and hop into this episode. Now, so what happened was, we had the California wildfires that did major destruction all over California. So what happened was, after that, State Farm requested an immediate 22% rate increase. And so this is where the tug-of-war began, all right? So there was a watchdog group that got involved in this, okay? So Carmen Balber, the executive director at the Consumer Watchdog, stated that State Farm had failed to demonstrate that an emergency rate hike is necessary. Said, first of all, these people are trying to build back their lives. They don't even have it all the way built, or they're just now starting, and you're already pressuring them for more money, and they have not even gotten themselves back together just yet, right? So one of the things that this watchdog group said, what they found, is that there is no evidence that the wildfire claims will reach $7 billion, as State Farm suggested, and then $4.4 billion in reserves and surplus already available to cover claims. This is what they have available in surplus. They don't even have to really mess with their money, but this is what they have in surplus. Then they said up to $9 billion in reinsurance commitments from State Farm's parent company, after the company pays $250 million in claims per event, although details remain undisclosed. Now, this watchdog group also says no explanation for why its parent company, State Farm Mutual Automobile Insurance Company, with a $194 billion in surplus and reserves, cannot provide support for its affiliate as it happened in Texas. So Texas had this same type of an issue, but they made sure that that parent company came in and ejected some money from their reserves. I'm talking about billions of dollars in reserves. This is where it got really good, because what happened, the California insurance commissioners rejected and said, no, State Farm, you have not shown us that you need to increase these people insurance by 22%, because you're having to pay out because you did insure them, and they do have their policy, so you are required to do this, and we need to sort of get back to protecting and rebuilding this community that was burned down. So the insurance commissioner said, no, I'm sorry, but you did not show us just cause to why we should give you this rate increase. And I'm going to tell you another thing, is that when I look at this is why it's important for you to vote. You want someone who's watching for you, who's watching over you as a consumer, as a constituent. This is why our vote matter, and this is why we got to put the right people in that have us in mind, not their agenda, but us in mind. So this is why it's very important that we vote, and our vote matter, because you want someone to fight for you when you have these huge companies come in and wanting to request that you pay more. All right. And remember, it's not like you started the wildfire. This is something that happens in nature. So why should we have to pay for things that just happen when we're already paying our premium? Okay. Now you check this out. State Farm came back with receipts, honey. State Farm confirms a $7.6 billion price tag for wildfires in a letter to the insurance commissioner. Not only that, State Farm made them aware that they currently insure 250,000 homes and 880,000 automobiles in LA County alone. The company insures over 1 million homes and more than 4 million autos across the state of California. So what they did, they came back and say, hey, this request is valid. We have receipts here. We confirming to you that we've spending $7.6 billion in this. They also said that they had over 9,500 claims at that particular time, and that reinsurance will lower its overall losses to about $612 million. Now, when you look at this, and you say, okay, State Farm, you showed us the receipts. They came back. And this is a lesson for us as consumers. Just because someone says no to us the first time, honey, you come back, you get your receipts, and you come back and you fight for what you want. You don't give up on that first no. This is why I call this the tug-of-war. See, there's a tug-of-war going on here between insurance, this big insurance giant, and California insurance commissioners. All right. So here we go. And this is a lesson for us as consumers. We got to strengthen ourselves and understand, in numbers, we matter. In numbers, we can shift. We can shift this thing. This is why we have to be educated and stay informed of what's going on, because State Farm did not just take that no and say, okay, they told me no, so we're just going to let it go. That's not what they did. They got their receipts and they came back. So let me tell you what happened. After they had a 3-day hearing in April, and the company, said what they said. They presented all their information, and guess what happened? An administrative law judge ruled in the favor of the carrier on May 13th. They ruled in their favor. This is why it's imperative that you don't give up and you keep fighting. This is why I do say to you all in some of my episodes, I say, listen, I'm going to make sure I stay insured, because I would rather have someone to fight with than no one to fight with at all. I'm just out here hoping someone will help me, hoping FEMA will come to my rescue. And we all know what's going on with FEMA at this point in time in our country. FEMA may not be there. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to try to pick up a little policy, whatever I can afford, to make sure I have someone that I can fight with. And this is exactly what's going on. It's a tug of war. It's a fight. And who's in the middle? The homeowners are in the middle. This is why I say your votes matter, your votes count, because you're in the middle and you have these two over here fighting with each other, doing a tug of war with you in mind. But after State Farm gave its receipts, that judge ruled in their favor. And guess what happened? California Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara approved State Farm's emergency rate hike request, but it wasn't for the 22%. It was for 17%. All right. And also, the commissioner said here that they're in a statewide insurance crisis affecting millions of Californians. Lara said in a May 13th release, taking this on requires tough decisions. And I'm going to tell you something. When those tough decisions come, you got to be able to stand. You got to be able to be a little flexible, but you got to be able to fight, right? So he said that this is not a game. This is not a media-driven moment for some to exploit. This impacts people I'm committed to protecting. And he also said that he expects State Farm to provide the highest level of service to California customers and fulfill its promises. Now, one of the things that I did not know that they have in the state of California, and I don't know if all Californians know this, is that after the wildfires, Lara requested State Farm offers 1-year renewal to all LA County residents with policies good through January 7th. Meanwhile, California law guarantees homeowners with total loss from the fires must be offered 2-year renewals. They can't be canceled. They can't be shut down. If you have a total loss from the wildfires, you are to be offered a 2-year renewal. They just cannot get rid of you, because those insurance companies, they will send you a notice and let you know that they're no longer going to insure you. And that happens. But see, even though State Farm got that 17% renewal rate from the California Insurance Commissioner, State Farm said that is not enough. State Farm is back to the table with them. And they're saying that's not enough. That 17% rate increase wasn't enough. And that it's in your best interest that they raise these rates to 22%. And that's the way they put it. It's in your best interest because they pay for the wildfires, right? Because you have a policy with them. But it's like with the rate hike, they want you to turn around and pay the bill. Because if they are able to get the rate hike from all of whoever they're covering in California, that will pretty much pay the bill that they just paid for the wildfires. So are they really paying? Are they really paying for your coverage for your home? Because if they get that 22% rate hike, eventually they're getting their money right back, because truthfully, getting insurance coverage in states like Florida, California, Texas, it's getting hard. It is getting very hard, and it's getting very expensive. So to me, with that rate hike, I do ask myself, and I'm asking you, are they actually paying for it? Or are they getting it back over the next couple of years with the amount of people that they insure in the state of California alone? Do you know a lot of times we carry insurance for years and we don't make one claim? That is their surplus. That is their reserve. That's to me. Now, you can let me know what your thoughts are on this matter here, because to me, this is a tug of war because State Farm has come back. State Farm has come back and said, no, that's not enough. We are requesting 22%, and that's what we believe we need to be getting. Do you think State Farm is being responsible or taking advantage? Do you think that consumers are hurting State Farm because they're paying out their contract that they went into with the consumers? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this issue here. Leave your comments. Tell me your stories or how you felt with your insurance company. Have you had a claim lately? Let us know. We would love to hear it. Also, oh my gosh, Marvin, let me just leave you with this little tidbit here. My friend Joya called me. She's like, Conticia, have you seen this show on Netflix called Forever? And I'm like, no, I'll look at it soon. But I saw, the little clipping of it. And then I was on the phone with my friend Joseph, and he's like, Conticia, I was watching this show Forever. And I was like, really? Let me just see what's going on today. So I started watching Forever while I'm putting together this episode. I wish you guys could see my office. I have notes everywhere. I'm like, how do I really get this together to where maybe I have a teleprompter here to get everything out of what I want to say, instead of having these note cards everywhere. But anyways, while I'm doing this, preparing for this episode, I'm looking at Forever at the same time. It is a cute little story. Pretty much it's about a boy who has ADHD, an overzealous, a controlling mother, and then also he falls in love with a chick that has a past. A sex pass. Okay. So pretty good little show. So definitely check that out. Again, thank you for tuning in. This is Conticia with Unfiltered Insurance and Adjuster Talk, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.